Okay, everybody. I think recording has started. See if Kevin tells us it
Recording,
has.
recording is active.
Okay. I'm going to start the. Okay, great. Okay, hello, hi, everybody. Today is Thursday, October 30th, 2025. This is the KubeStellar community meeting. We do this every 2 weeks, so welcome all. If you're watching this on recording, you can do so. Of course, you already got it, but if you need to watch it on a recording, you can go to kubestellar.io/TV, and that's where our YouTube channel is, and you can see all the recordings. If you want to get access to this particular artifact that I'm showing here, you would go to kubestellar.io/join us. You can use join_us or just join us, one word. And if you want to see this specific file after you've joined us in that Google group, you can go to kubestellar.io/agenda. If you want to add any future meeting agenda topics, feel free to add them to the end of the meeting agenda as we go through it today, and we'd be happy to get to them. So, also as proud members of the CNCF's Sandbox Project community, we abide by a contributor code of conduct, and I read it here. As contributors and maintainers in the CNCF community, and in the interest of fostering an open and welcoming community, we pledge to respect all people who contribute through reporting issues, posting feature requests, updating documentation, submitting pull requests or patches, and other activities. We are committed to making participation in the CNCF community a harassment-free experience for everyone, regardless of level of experience, gender identity and expression, sexual orientation, disability, personal appearance, body size, ethnicity, race, age, religion, or nationality. No discrimination here, and this just means, say, let's just get along. It's great. It's great to try and do that in the world we live in today. Anyways, enough of my commentary. So today is, of course, October 30th, day before Halloween here in the United States. I hope everybody's doing well. If you'd like to add your name to the list of attendees, please do so now. And I'll get started on the agenda. And people, you can just jump in. If you have any questions, just raise your hand. All right. So to get an invitation to, we moved our CNCF Slack organization. We moved to the CNCF Slack organization from the Kubernetes org. And because we did that, you'll have to get a new invite, Cloud Native/CNCF, the community inviter. Once you're invited there, you can go to this specific channel. This is the pound KubeStellar-dev channel. All right, got a couple events that are coming up soon. KubeCon North America is in 2 weeks. I'll be there on site. We have a lightning talk scheduled there on the 10th of November at 1:24 p.m. I think that's subject to change, but it's roughly the right time. We have a poster session also for software-defined farm, Cornell and KubeStellar's collaborative, the joint studies agreement that we have going on with them, and they're working on things like enclave computing, secure computing, and so forth. That'll be 6:15 p.m. on November 11th. I believe that's on the show floor when it opens that evening. And then we have a project pavilion kiosk. Will be there on the 13th of November, which is Thursday, from 10:30 a.m. till 2 p.m. I'll be there, so come by and say hello. We're kiosk number 15B, and that's in Building B, Level 1, Exhibit Hall B3 through B5 in the Solutions Showcase. All right. Next up is KubeCon EU. In KubeCon EU in 2026, that'll be March 23rd to the 26th in Amsterdam. The 22nd will be the pre-conference presentations. The CFP is closed for the main conference. The CFP for the co-hosted events is closing in about 3 or 4 days. You have up to 4 entries per speaker if you combine the 2 entries that you're allowed to give for the CFP for the main conference and the 2 entries you can give for the CFP for the co-hosted events. So that's total of 4. So our recommendation, use all 4. If you'd like to present on KubeStellar's behalf, we'd love to have that. Send us any information you have about what you would like to present. We'll even help you form the abstract. That's all for that. All right. Any questions on our presence or the KubeCon conferences that are coming up? Okay. All right, so KubeStellar's UI. This isn't really a KubeStellar UI update. This is IFOS update. So our interns for open source program is still going on for the fall term. Term two completed in the summer, so we're complete with that. It was nice to have a bunch of the folks that are involved with that stay on as mentors and as future and as contributors. Term three started on September 8th and is still ongoing. We're over the halfway point here. We've got about 3 weeks left, I believe. So we're doing quite a few different projects here right now. I believe one of them we didn't get to complete. We closed it. It was on the ratio of ITS to WTS, but that's okay. I mean, it's fine. We'll rejuvenate that next semester probably. We're doing one on WEC status reporting, playwright testing, which is automated testing for the front end, design implementation. So this is taking the design that we had, design implementation for the website and for UI. This is taking the design that we came up with in the summer and applying it to the website and also other areas within the user interface that may not have been aligned. And we also have a developer relations project which is ongoing, and it's we've had a bunch of blog posts, YouTube videos, and presence at a bunch of different conferences as a result. We're looking actively for more contributors and also adopters of the project. So if you know anybody who's an adopter of the project, we'd love to know who they are and take note of it and help them out in any way we can. Okay, so that about sums up our IFOS program. Anybody with any comments or questions about it? Okay. All right. Mike, do you want to give us any update on 0.29.0-alpha.1 or any of the proceeds after that?
Okay.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yes. Let's see. So, we do have a test release out, so that means we want it to be tested. Let's see. So, yeah, we're working on, these listed things. Oh, well, actually, some of them we're working on. So the upgrade campaign is in progress. I'll just remark that we are deliberately advancing one minor Kubernetes release at a time for a few reasons that I outlined in the PR in the OCM status add-on repository. So I'll just reiterate, in general, it's good to be taking relatively small steps because we're talking about not only upgrading the Kubernetes dependency, but all the other things that depend on Kubernetes, so that everything stays in sync to the same minor version of Kubernetes. And throughout the ecosystem, there are occasionally incompatible changes. So taking one minor release step at a time gives us a chance to deal with these, in a smaller batches. Also, because we have this assembly of repositories that have dependencies, we can't really test that we've done it right until we update the dependencies in kubeflex, make a new release of kubeflex, update the dependencies in OCM status add-on, make a new release of OCM status add-on, update dependencies in the KubeStellar repo, make a new release of the KubeStellar repo. Then we can finally finish all our testing. So again, a smaller step means there's less to unwind if we find a problem somewhere in the later steps of that. Anyway, so there's that. And it is good to update these dependencies because a lot of one of the problems is we incorporate security vulnerabilities that are in these things that we depend on, and there are fixes in later versions, and we'd like to update to later versions of the dependencies. So that's one of the reasons to have this ongoing upgrade campaign. Another thing that limits us is we do test our stuff in OpenShift clusters. We have OpenShift clusters that run OpenShift 4.18, which runs Kubernetes 1.31. So that's why the current aim is for Kubernetes 1.31. Yes, Jay. You wanted to point something out. Oh, right. Yes. So there's another problem that we have in particular with cluster ADM. They made an incompatible change from release 0.10.x to 0.11.x. They made an incompatible change in the name of the service account that cluster ADM uses for cluster bootstrapping. And in the KubeStellar repo, we have actually two different places where kubeadm is versioned. We have a Helm chart that specifies a particular version of cluster ADM, and then the user running it, running our tests or whatever, has kubeadm installed on their machine. And so if they're, are across this incompatible difference, things will break. So that's a bit of a pain for us. Maybe it's time to just force everybody to upgrade to kubeadm 0.11. That could be one possible solution. But we need to deal with that at some point. And maybe now is that point. Let's see. Another point here is PROW. We did have to switch from the KCP PROW to our own PROW instance. We're not PROW experts. We, tried to cobble together a PROW instance for ourselves. It's not fully working. So we could use some help in getting our PROW instance actually fully working. Some of the problems are listed there in the agenda. We have fixed the problem with kubeflex applying post-create hooks too soon. And that enables, and there's a new release we're using in the KubeStellar repo, so that enables simplification. That's ongoing work. Let's see here.
Hey, Mike, can you enumerate what off the top of your head? I think it was build image creation, or it's right there, isn't it? Build image creation prowess. Okay, never mind. Sorry, it was right there. I don't know why I didn't read it. Sorry. Please continue.
All right, sure. Yeah, I'll just stop there. That's enough for me now.
Okay. Any comments or questions from Mike? Okay. Hey, I have a general question. How are we doing with the speed of the installation? I know that we were taking out some of the not safeguards, but some of the wait functionality in time. We'll be removing a lot of that because we have other means of doing it. Is there some indication that things are progressing in a positive way? Are we making progress in making the installation of the demo sequence a little bit more robust?
We have been simplifying the code and scripting in constructions in general in the KubeStellar repo, because now kubeflex is better about timing the post create hooks. But I think that is primarily a source code complexity reduction. It's not really a change in the time it takes things to happen.
Okay, very good. All right, we'll keep chugging along. All right.
Yeah.
Is any
maybe I'll take that as a prompt to mention a couple of things.
Okay.
In general, simplicity is good. The less we have to maintain, the better for us going forward. It's really easy, for example, to use code generators to generate a lot of really verbose code, but that's actually that creates a maintenance burden as we go along. And another thing is, contributors should take responsibility for making sure that their contributions work. If you've got failures in the CI testing, you need to take primary responsibility for debugging it. Stop there.
Okay. Anybody with any other comments or questions for Mike? Okay, thanks, Mike. Okay. I guess I can make mention of there's a lot of work going on in the KubeStellar docs repository. So if you are interested in helping us formulate our new documentation site, which will be built via the Nextra framework, feel free to jump in and help out. I mean, that goes for all the repositories, but that's one of our biggest thrusts right now. Okay. All right. Ideas for the IFOS program. I just added these for the spring. So just a couple of ideas off the top of my head. So RBAC flatten UI. So Mike Spreitzer, one of our major contributors, has built a tool that does a flattening of RBAC, which will take consolidate the access for multiple users or subjects, I should say, users, groups, service accounts, and make it a cleaner implementation, not as many objects potentially that are doing, similar things, but for different people, or potentially could be doing the same things for different people, or different things for the same person. So making that cleaner and neater, making a single object perhaps that covers multiple accesses for one person or one subject, or vice versa. So I've yet to play with it to use it, but I think the potential is big because in doing the types of things that I do for cluster administration for multi-tenant clusters, it's difficult to find the right sequence of commands or combination of commands to get you the right information to be able to make decisions about how to consolidate that information. So I'm looking forward to trying it out, and I hope that we can visualize it at some point with the KubeStellar UI. Second item, UI design implementation continued. So the potential is there for us to continue the UI design as for the website. So UI design, website implementation. So I feel that we'll probably still have outstanding items for the website implementation for the UI design. Kevin, would you agree with that?
Yes,
Yeah.
we are focusing on getting the ingestion from multiple repos to work. This is what's called the remote content module in Nextra. Um, it's it's new, so we're figuring out how it works. And if anybody out there has practice in doing that particular thing, we can use practical experience very definitely. So,
Okay.
and you call out the fact that for docs PRs, we request a preview. Once the Nextra framework is generally running, the procedure for creating those previews will change. We hope it will be at least moderately automated, and that I
Mm-hmm.
know you are working on.
Mm-hmm. Good. Yeah. Still noodling over how to do this for remote repos. Anyway, all right, good. KubeStellar Playground. Somebody had mentioned this a while back, and I thought it was a good idea, and it's open for, of course, debate with others. Some people may cruise by our repo and say, "Hey, yeah, no, that's nice, but I don't really want to install that right now to see how it works." Using the KubeStellar Playground, the potential is there for us to have, let's say, a de facto installation of KubeStellar that maybe gets reset on some regular basis and allows people to interact with KubeStellar and try out things like binding policies and delivering workloads to remotely managed clusters. So I think that's that would be a good way to introduce people to the project, and it's something that we can all, I guess, learn from and how to do that. I've been getting a lot of exercise with the Oracle Cloud infrastructure, so I think this is doable. It's just a matter of how do we expose it to others. Of course, we can have I think six is a good number. I wouldn't go any further than that, any more than that. Maybe five is even easier to manage. But I would suspect that five programs, each with a mentee and a pair of mentors, as well as maybe some folks that want to tag along in the unpaid capacity. So looking for those folks now. If you're interested, the way that you apply for these projects is through PRs, so that we get to know you, your coding style, see if there's a match, if there's a fit. Also, get involved with the program as an unpaid intern and think about, or unpaid mentee. And then if you follow along with the program, finish it, complete it successfully, there's a higher chance that you'll be selected for the next program where you can get be a paid mentee. Okay. All right. We've reached the end of the agenda. If is there any comments or questions or people that would like to weigh in on this, that, or the other thing? Okay. Okay, folks. So I'll go ahead and I think if it's okay with everybody else, unless there's anybody else that would like to have the meeting for the week of KubeCon, I'll cancel this regularly scheduled meeting so that we don't have to meet during that conference, and then we'll circle back hopefully later in November about the results. Although that may hit a holiday also, so November we might not have any meetings. So let's see what happens. Because it is a Thursday, and that is when we observe Thanksgiving here in the United States. So that might also not be take place. So our next meeting might not be till December. So everybody on this call, enjoy the month apart from each other here. Holidays are coming up. Time to maybe slow down at some point. We'll see if that ever happens. But have a good rest of your week, and we'll talk to you again in a few weeks.